Hey guys, Lindsay here. So we're sitting on the floor today, and that's because I'm doing my palette collection video, and I figured the easiest way to show you guys would just be to put them on the floor. That way I can kind of easily open them up, show you guys what they look like. Plus, this is also giving me a reason to kind of clean out and reorganize my kind of setup, because I was noticing that like with my Alex drawers, I'm completely not using two drawers in the best way that I could be. So I pulled them out. I'm gonna do a little rearranging. I did a declutter not that long ago, not on camera, but I decluttered my palette stash of stuff that was like really old or just not my style anymore. But I still have a lot of palettes, so I'm gonna try to do this the quickest way possible, but it might still be a longer video because I have a lot. But the other purpose of this video is to just show you guys the palettes that I own, because you've heard me mention that I want to start my Throwback Thursday series. I actually plan on starting that. This Thursday will be the first time that you'll see one. So what I figured is, as you see palettes that I show you that you're interested in seeing, a new look, updated look, whatever, just shout it out in the comments below, and I'm just gonna kind of make a list of all those palettes you guys are the most interested in seeing, and those will be the ones that I will do first in my Throwback Thursdays. If you guys don't have any suggestions, I'll just start randomly grabbing them, but if there's one you really want to see, shout it out. I don't care how new or old it is, and I will put it on the list and get to that in whatever order. So let me go ahead and turn you guys towards the floor and we'll start looking at some palettes. Alright, so I figured we would start out with the more mainstream palettes. You're kind of like Sephora, Ulta, not really indie brand stuff. I don't know if you consider Kylie Jenner an indie brand, but whatever, I included it here. So let's go ahead and go through all these. So we've got the Jaclyn Hill palette, Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. I have two Tarte palettes. This one is the Make Believe in Yourself and the Be a Mermaid palette. Then I've got the Dose of Colors, the original Desi X Katie little palette, the one that's kind of like a wet and or use your finger palette. Kat Von D Saint and Center palette. Moving into Too Faced, we have the I Want Candy palette. Peanut Butter and Jelly. These two right here are from their Christmas little set. I think this was like 2 years ago. I don't know if it has the date now, but I kept these two. This one is the Gingerbread Cookie and Eggnog Latte. And then of course I have the Gingerbread palette from this year's holiday release and the good old Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. Moving along to Urban Decay, I've got Naked 2, which has definitely seen some love, Naked Heat, and the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. Then I've got two Kylie Cosmetics palettes. I guess these aren't really, I mean, they're available in Ulta now. This one's from like the Stormy collection. I don't know, it's just the pastel one. Then I have the Nice palette from the holiday collection last year. Then I have this Bobbi Brown Infrared palette. And then last for this batch is all the Anastasia palettes. So we have, of course, Modern Renaissance, the classic. Subculture, which I actually do like. I just obviously have to be very cautious when using it because they are very powdery. Prism. And the Norvina palette. Next up, we'll do a couple of drugstore palettes that I have. So I have this one from CoverGirl. It's the True Naked Goldens. The Maybelline City Mini palette. This one is Urban Jungle. Obviously, I haven't even used this yet, which I forgot this was even in my drawer, so I need to use that one. And then the Wet n Wild from the Dragon collection. This one is Dragon Scales. This is one of the palettes from last year's, this is the pastel palette. It's like the creams that they did with their Halloween stuff. It's actually still, I checked it, it's still like the formula's still working, so I'm hanging on to it in case I need to do any kind of pastel painted look. This is the Wanderlust eyeshadow palette. This is the Austin one. Mine is still broken, but this is what it looks like. Now let's do some ColourPop palettes. So I have the Cute AF palette, the My Little Pony palette, the Kathleen Lights Dream Street palette, and then lastly the Zodiac palette, which is my favorite of all of these. Okay, so these are palettes that I got in my BoxyCharms. I have decluttered and passed along certain palettes that I got that I just wasn't my style, but I did keep these. So I've got the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1, the Violet Voss Pro Shadows. This is the Holy Grail palette. The BoxyCharm and Pure collab. The Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. And for now, I'm keeping the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. Oops, and I almost forgot this little guy. He was off to the side. This is the Winky Lux Kitten palette that I got in BoxyCharm. I really like this one. Super pretty. We have now made it to the Hot Topic portion of this video. So right now you see all of the Hot Topics that I have kept. I did do a declutter not too long ago of palettes. I got rid of about 6 of them, I believe. So everything you see in front of me are palettes that I did enjoy, even if they took a little bit of extra finessing. Either I'm just still not willing to get rid of them because of the fandom, or I did like the colors, and I do want to try to give some of these some more chances of doing some looks with them, or just trying to use them in corporation with other palettes. I think that could be really pretty, is using some of these shadows with some other better quality palettes to kind of just really get a good complete look. So let's go ahead and go through them one by one. So just like before, I'm not going to go through like details of any of them. I'm just going to show you guys the palettes so this doesn't take forever. So starting with the Blackheart Beauty Elements palettes, we have Air, Fire, Earth, and Water. We've got 3 Nightmare Before Christmas palettes. This one is the original. The Wonderful Nightmare, my favorite of the 3, definitely the easiest to work with. And the Now and Forever palette, which was super neutral. The Sanguis Draconis palette, which was a book palette. And I do have the highlighter up on my table, so that's on there. I had a liquid highlighter there. And my new favorite, Soraya Jade, the kind of freaky side, little geeky side. This one is the Tokidoki Halloween palette. I actually didn't ever use this on camera. I picked it up at Halloween. But if you guys want to see something with it, let me know. The 2 Jason and Freddy palettes, which, yes, I realize they do magnetize together. When I released my video, they had not specified that, and it didn't say it on their website, but I know now, so thank you for everybody who commented. No Place to Hide, Never Sleep Again. All right, I pulled up a lot of these little narrow ones. So we have Riverdale, Wonder Woman, Mermaid's Tale, Immortal Glow. I haven't used this one yet, but there will be a video coming up on it. I just bought it not long ago. And the original Tokidoki palette, which I have never used or opened. So yeah, if you guys want to see something with this one, let me know. Harley Quinn and the Skull Bags. The Artemis Game Over palette. I really want to try using this with the Creepy Cute palette, see what I can come up with. American Horror Story. Moana. Mulan, one of my favorites. Classic Nickelodeon. I still love this orange shade right here. That's usually what I reach for. The first Hot Topic palette I ever reviewed on my channel, which was the Tale as Old as Time Beauty and the Beast palette. This is actually the palette that kind of taught me to try these palettes a little bit differently, because I filmed a look with it and it went horribly wrong because I was trying to treat it like any other typical eyeshadow, and it just did not work well. So I refilmed it and was a bit more careful about my placement of colors, and then I was able to get a really pretty look out of it. So that kind of like was my lesson learned with Hot Topic palettes, but it did spark my love for these fun little themed palettes. The Mean Girls Fetch palette. Polly Pocket, the newest one. The Infinity eyeshadow palette. Definitely one that you need to use with like a glitter glue almost, because they're so chunky. Hyperspace. The Clueless palette. And the best one, the Handbook for the Recently Deceased. This one just was such a great palette. And last but not least, we are at my favorite part, which is the indie brand palettes. All of these are great palettes. Some of them definitely need to get some more love, which is the whole point of my Thursday series. So hopefully we'll start using some of these for some more looks. But yes, I'm just gonna go through them one by one and just show them to you guys. I have the Grease palette from Sola Look. 2 palettes from Sugar Pill, the Feline Fancy, which they have all these in singles now. And the Little Twin Stars, which was kind of disappointing, but I haven't decluttered it yet. I do have singles, but I wasn't gonna include that in this video. 2 from Espionage Cosmetics. This one is the Colavadia palette. It's like the Harry Potter themed one. And the RPG palette. 2 from Jeffree Star. I have Thirsty and Blood Sugar. My 2 Cargo Star Wars palettes. I don't know if this is actually even considered indie brand, sorry. This is the Dark Side and the Light Side. Autumn Equinox from Makeup Slave. This is a favorite, especially this color right here. Tribe from Juvia's Place. The Mermaid palette from KG Beauty. I believe they're called Caitlin Beauty now. Some Bombshell Cosmetica palettes. We've got the original Candylicious, Sour Blast, and Hubba Hubba. Two from Beauty Bakery, Game of Cones, Fury of the Oven, and Do It for the Gram. Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light. Box of crayons from the crayon case. Three from Alien Cosmetics. I have their Pluto palette. Phases, which is their newest one. And literally one of my favorite palettes, which is the Unearthly. Two from Menagerie Cosmetics. The Dragon Child palette. And the Feral palette with the two new colors added to it. I haven't even had a chance to use them yet. Three from Misha Lou. I have the Fawn palette, Queen Bee, and Witchcraft. Two from Strobe Cosmetics, Divinity, and Creepy Cute, which I only just purchased not long ago, so I've only used it once or twice, but it's pretty awesome. Two brand new palettes from Blush Tribe. I haven't even tried these yet, but I just got them in the mail, so I have Hasina 2. And the Paulina palette. I have two Peachy Queen palettes. I have their Pumpkin Spice palette and the Clueless palette, who Peachy Queen is the original creator of. A new brand that I recently discovered that I've fallen in love with is the Collective Cosmetics. Absolutely gorgeous. These are all highlighters, but I personally love using them as shadow toppers. Certify, I only have the Destiny palette, but I really want to get the Affinity 1. I'm waiting to purchase it until they come out with Affinity 2, and I'm going to buy them at the same time. These are all my Besame products right here. So I have the Agent Carter palette, their newest Mermaid Lagoon from their Peter Pan collection, the Snow White I'm Wishing palette, and then this gorgeous collector's piece right here, which is a replica of the storybook from the movie. It has all these gorgeous details about the Pantone shades used, which is what Besame does. They like to make their palettes for these Disney collections or collaborations based on the actual Pantone colors from the movie. So beautiful. I have actually used it, but this is definitely more of a collector's piece for me. However, these shadows are very soft and beautiful. And lastly, the brand that started off the indie brand love for me, which is Storybook Cosmetics. First palette I ever bought from them, which is the Wizardry and Witchcraft palette. The Mean Girls Burn Book, and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory palette, and then this cute little women palette, which is 3 shadows and a liquid lipstick. This is from a monthly subscription that they have started. However, it's not really monthly because they haven't been able to ship more than one out. I think we're supposed to be getting a Sherlock palette, and it looks like it's going to be February now. In my personal opinion, they should really just try to do this as a quarterly subscription, and I think that would make a lot of their customers happy. Probably be much easier to pull off. So that is it. Alright guys, so that's all for my palette collection video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below with the palettes that you want to see first in my Throwback Thursday series. It can be any palettes, I really don't care. If you want to see Hot Topic palettes again, if you want to see indie brands, you throw the palette out there. I will make a list of the ones you guys are most interested in seeing first, and I'll just pull from those when I do my videos for Thursdays. So make sure that you're subscribed, and of course don't forget to have the notification bell checked. Like I said, we're at 3 videos a week now from here on out, so I'll be posting Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided, and it probably won't ever be final because I feel like the weekends are always the hardest, but you'll always get a video from me on the weekend. But yeah, Thursdays will always be throwback videos, at least for now. So you guys shout out what you want to see first, and I will do that. If you want to see a combo video, like 2 different palettes together for Thursday, fine by me. You guys just let me know what you want to see for Thursdays and I will do that. So that's all I've got for you guys. I will see you in my next video, which will be up on Tuesday, and it's most likely going to be with the Paulina palette. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.